start singing. We don't talk about Bruno.
Dude, we don't talk about Bruno. Is so popular on TikTok right now.
It is quite literally cultural appropriation from the white people on TikTok. Stop it. No, it's good.
It's a hate crime.
It's honestly, it's the number one song. It's the number one album right now on Spotify and stuff like that. It's been number one for a little bit.
It surpassed Disney's sales of Frozen, of Let It Go.
Almost.
Wait,
scooch this way?
Oh, I gotta scooch
angle.
inward. I gotta angle myself to get inside.
Edward, scooch inward. You've got to look inward.
Oh, I gotta look Edward.
You got to look Edward. I've got to look Edward. Oh, my hair grows out.
No, it's like it's like a
Face reveal.
Oh yeah, that too. I was thinking more like it's like the Play-Doh where you just and then you like turn red and then
It shoots out of my head. Awesome. So everybody, we've survived COVID.
Yeah, we both had COVID at the same time.
Literally. Pretty sure it was Chess's fault. I 100% blame Chess. Chess came over.
Always
He's like,
blame Chess.
He was like, my family tested positive, and we're like, what? And then I'm like, I think nothing of it. And then 4 or 5 days later, I'm like, it's begun. Go get tested.
No.
Literally, dude. So yeah, we both survived. Both tested negative already. We're good.
In my long 1 year lifespan,
Exactly.
I've learned one thing. Always blame Chess.
Always blame
Always
Chess.
blame Chess.
Remember that.
Always
Even
blame Chess.
if he wasn't present, he is still the antagonist.
Exactly. He's the one that invented coronavirus, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
It's his fault.
He's literally the guy who
Yeah.
went to China. He ate a bat and then he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Little did you know, it actually started in El Salvador because of him.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
him.
He was the reason.
He was patient 0, patient -1, honestly. He went over to China and infected the Chinese and then came back over and infected
brought
the
it to us.
Salvadorians
Yeah.
and then came over to the US. Stole our jobs, infected all of us.
It was a triple bypass play. I don't know what those words mean, but yes.
Exactly. You've got heart disease, it's Chess. You got cancer, it's Chess.
Honestly, Chess was the one who invented pestilence in the first place. Any illness, he invented it.
Yep.
He started. I was there when he invented it, so you can trust me.
I have a hypothesis. I think Chess is God now. Did Chess do the Great Flood? I think he did.
Maybe. I think so.
Chess, if you're out there, please don't smite us. And then we just, just fall over. Keel over. That was a good intro.
Yeah, that was a good intro.
That was solid.
That was a good intro. That was a solid 30-second intro.
That was a solid minute of Chess. Okay. So thank you, Chess, for the coronavirus. But yeah, now we're better. So we're recording this one. It's going to be released in like tomorrow. I will release this tomorrow. I will work hard all night long.
I'm looking at my watch, but it's turned off.
You got to charge it.
No, it's charged. It's 100% charged.
Oh, you left it on the charger and then you picked it up before turning it on?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I just put it on. I was like, oh, yeah. It's on.
The watch is there. It's alive.
Yeah. It's got electricity running through it. If my brain shuts off for any reason, I just absorb the electrical signals from the watch and restart myself.
I shit you not. That was like a flash plot point. I just
Are you fucking kidding?
No, where he was like...
Are you fucking kidding?
They were using some technology to stop Godspeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when the flash charged up the technology, because it needed to be charged up with like seismic vibrations, right? So he goes with the super speed and then turned it on. And then in that like split second, when the charge was activated, it let off seismic stuff that Godspeed was able to absorb. And that's how he was able to like escape them, basically. It was... I don't know what season 7 of The Flash is doing now, but it's...
Dude, honestly, The Flash went downhill after Final Crisis. Or Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I mean, because you've got to realize that with The Flash, it's like, what are you supposed to do if he's the fastest man on Earth?
Yeah.
There's got to be someone who's all of a sudden, sorry, I'm actually the fastest person on Earth. Or like, I have your family and friends. If you move too fast, then I'm going to kill them. Or like, things like that, Because in the comics, of course, you can do whatever you want in the comics. It's written, right?
Yeah.
So you can make the explosions. You can make everything. But with a TV show, you're kind of limited.
Also low budget.
Exactly.
Super low budget.
You got no budget there. So you're like, I'm standing in my spandex suit, and I'm like, what am I gonna do now? Dun dun. And then he's like, you're thinking for like 3 episodes of filler before they finally blow the whole budget on like the 2-episode finale.
Yeah.
And they're like, yep,
Yeah.
that's all we had. That's all we had, people. That's why they got to make it.
That was all our brainchild.
Yeah. I was like, you remember Riverdale? We've just turned everything into a Riverdale copy.
Okay, I was gonna say, hold on. I will not stand for that particular slander of the Flash. The Flash is not as bad as Riverdale.
Okay.
It's not as bad. Talk about taking something beloved and then just ruining the shit out of it, just killing it, just turning it into typical. The show starts with Archie sleeping with his teacher. Like
starts like that.
It starts like
they're
that.
like, we're an
Like
anti-drama, guys. This is how we show you.
That's
He's
the
hanging
first
dong.
episode, or like that's the first mystery of the show.
Who slept with him?
Yeah, fucking literally. The first major mystery of the show is, who did Archie lose his virginity to? Turns out it was his teacher.
So she's going to jail now, I assume, right?
No, I don't think she ever does.
Exactly, because it's like,
she's murdered or something.
Even better.
Kill all the pedophiles.
Yeah, you have sex with your teacher. If you're a guy, everyone's like, woo. If you're a girl, they send that teacher to jail.
Yeah.
Every time. Forgot where we're going with this, but
I don't know too. We just kind of went out. Yeah, Riverdale. Yeah, okay. Riverdale. Oh, but here's something I found out interesting, and I because like obviously, completely legitimately, I read apps on my phone, completely legitimately. Pay for
of course.
them.
Yes.
Of course. I recently found out that they restarted the Archie comics, in like last year or the year before last.
Edgy?
No, it's like a continuation of the actual original Archie comics.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I wonder what they did with it. Because the fan base that's currently around for Archie or for Riverdale is not the same fan base that would like Archie comics.
I mean, because Archie comics is like to the 60 through 80-year-old demographic at this point.
Well,
they're
yeah.
like, I used to read the Archie comics back in 1937. And it's like,
well, not even, because the original Archie show was
2000.
Our generation.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah. 2001,
2001. I clearly remember that. I
Archie's Weird Mysteries.
I remember being excited every single time Veronica was on screen.
And that was Edward's sexual awakening. Chapter 2.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Danny Phantom.
Oh, no. Oh, because of the goth girl on there, too? Like, someone was like, why are all these boys liking all these e-girls and like goth girls? And it's like their entire generation of Nickelodeon, and it's like goth girl. Like Shago from
Kim Possible,
and like all of them. And I'm like, meanwhile, I'm over here like, I had no cable television as a kid because
I didn't have it either.
Poor. How'd you watch Ben 10 then?
I bought the DVDs. Well, I bought the DVDs.
You rented them from the library and never returned them?
No. I just took them from Toys R Us.
You bought them, you mean?
Yeah, I bought them from Toys R Us.
Who's
going to sue me? Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah.
Like what? Their parent company? Okay, go ahead. Take my $3.
If you guys are listening to this podcast in the year 2050, back in ancient times,
yes,
Toys R Us was this company where kids would actually walk into a store to purchase toys. You see, toys were displayed on shelves. This is before the Amazon Wars, of course.
Yes, before the Amazon Wars.
Before the Bezos nuclear apocalypse.
But before we all lived in a company, Amazon towns.
Exactly. Sponsored by Amazon Pods. Everyone's brain is hooked into the Amazon Matrix. As, of course, we knew Amazon bought out Meta and the Metaverse, and it's now the Amazonverse. And if you close your eyes during the Prime ads, you get a shocking. So remember, guys.
And you get charged $1 million.
Drink your Coca-Cola, drink your Mountain Dew verification can. Drink verification can to continue. So
prove you're not a robot by identifying which of these is Coca-Cola with a simple taste test.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, so I get the free samples? No.
You have to buy them.
Exactly. And you cannot buy can I buy a single can? No. You must buy the 24-pack. But I don't need that many. Just a taste test. Bzz. Ah!
Dude, it took us...
The Amazon dystopia.
It took us 5 minutes to get into fuck capitalism.
Honestly. Okay, let's go back.
Which leads into my next point.
Okay.
Actually, that would have been a good segue if we were done with the last topic, but we're not. So
let's go back. So, Riverdale and old people.
Yes.
Sexual awakenings.
Oh, dude. Speaking about old people.
Old people.
I felt so old last night.
Why?
Because I was looking through the comics, right? And I was like, oh, and I clearly remember the first comic I ever bought. Let me see if I can find it. 1 second.
Do, 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 do. Oh, don't put on the coffee stains. Come on.
Not on the coffee stains.
Blue Beetle from the New 52?
Yeah, New 52 Blue Beetle. I love comics, dude. I wish I could start my own comic collection.
Oh, it's so expensive, though.
Yeah, I know. This one.
Batman.
This is the
Superman.
first comic I ever bought.
The New 52.
Yes. And I'm like, and to me, because this is the first comic I ever bought, like, I feel like such a boomer.
Why?
Oh, I'm not even talking into the mic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can sort of hear you. Okay. But point is.
The point is, like, this is going to make me feel and sound like such a boomer. But that's the first comic I ever bought. That was released in, I'm pretty sure it was 2016.
No.
Or no.
That was like 2013, dude.
2013.
Like
2013.
9 years ago.
9 years ago.
9
But
years
to
ago.
me, this is like, oh yeah, this came out like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
It just came out. I just finished it.
9 years isn't even that much of time. It's like
9 years,
Okay,
dude. 9 years.
How about
You've
this?
been out of high school for 6
for
years.
7 years now.
7 years.
The same amount of time as I was in high school.
Yes.
Because my middle school, high school was 7 years long, and it's like.
Oh, I thought just meant because high school felt like a prison.
Oh, I mean, you basically, dude. I mean, for 7 years, yeah.
For 7
'cause
years, yeah.
6th grade through 12th grade, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and now I've been out for the exact same amount of time, almost.
But I that reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
I was cleaning up my like messages right on Facebook, and I came across a message of I forgot who.
Mm-hmm.
But they posted it on my Facebook wall. Oh, not messages, though, on my
Timeline,
my Facebook history. Because like I'm like deleting all the cringy shit from before. Like every day, I like when Facebook notifies my memories, I'm like, okay, this gets
I
deleted.
have already archived the Edward NFTs. Okay, we're gonna post them up here on the screen. They're gonna go up for sale, and it's Edward holding a sword in a public library. We've got Edward beating up Benny. No, I can't find that video. I think you might have deleted
No,
it.
you know which one we need to find? The one where you set me on fire.
Oh yeah, where you're like, oops.
Yeah, and you had me like punch something. Yeah,
into the
bucket.
A bucket of water. It was
Yeah.
a bucket of water. That's why, because we put hand sanitizer or something on your hand.
Yeah.
You lit on fire, and you were like, oh,
yeah.
into the water.
Oh, dude, so
That was-
cringe.
I mean, that one sounds pretty funny too.
It's funny, but also cringe. It's
Because-
cringe funny.
Thank God we didn't have cell phones at our
Oh
age.
my
Imagine,
God.
like these
Dude,
kids.
I'm
posting
so
shit on
glad I
TikTok.
could not afford dude. No. Just the devious licks. I would have straight up been like just ripping phones.
I know for a fact, Walter, Chess,
Me.
not Hector, you like, all would have been stealing so much shit, dude.
Dude,
That challenge
At my
would've
high
gotten
school.
you arrested.
at my school,
My school.
we had this awesome, nice, and funny Japanese teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've told the story on the podcast before. I don't know if I have. I'm sorry if I have, but
We're now confessing to high school crimes.
exactly.
You go first.
I already
high school crimes. Holy shit.
The new segment.
Dude, I just thought of a bunch of high school crimes, dude. Okay, go.
Same. Oh, dude, I remember helping your brother with the high school crime. But anyways,
We'll get to that
We'll get to that after. We never. Well, we'll get to it. How do you call it? But so this isn't something I did. This is just something that I heard about because I knew a lot of people in my high school. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a little redundant. Everyone knows a lot of people in their high school.
Yeah, and then you leave high school, and then you know like 3 people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, though, like I think I've maintained social contact with like 4 people from my high school.
Because if you think
Like
about
directly
it,
from my high school. Because I still have you and Walter and then
Yeah,
high school era.
but the only reason you even stayed in contact with them in the first place from high school is because they're in your classes. Like it's
No.
like it's a thing of circumstance. You get me? That's why you feel like you know a lot of people, but then when you leave, you realize you didn't really know them. They were just kind of in your class. That's
Oh,
what I
I
mean.
get you. I
Yeah.
get you. I thought you meant like that, like the reason that you're friends with the people that you stayed with was because they were in your class. I was
No,
like,
no,
I
not
don't think I
necessarily.
shared classes with most of them. But yeah, I get you now.
Yeah.
How do you call it? But yeah, crimes. So this is before TikTok, before most of us even had cell phones. OtterBox was still the best case ever in the world. Let me paint the picture for
Still
you.
$80 to this day.
Still $80 to this day. Trash ass box.
Yeah.
How do you call it? The iPhone. The iPod touches were just beginning to
iPod
be
Touch
the
first
rage.
gen, yeah.
First gen. Oh, not first gen. It was like the third.
Actually, no. The fat iPods were
The first gen.
I was thinking of the iPod Touch, but you remember the fat ones, right? They're like 160 gigabytes, and in that time you're like 160 gigabytes. That's so much memory. Because dude, a song is like what 2 megabits, and like before it'd be like, dude, my iPod has 16 gigs on it, and it's like whoa, that's crazy.
16.
And then the fat ones were the ones with like a lot of storage.
Yeah.
And then
but yeah, they had just added a camera to the iPods. This is like the era that we're talking about, just freshly, barely.
Oh, when they got skinny, right?
Yeah, when they first got skinny.
Okay.
Let me paint this picture.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, no one had a TikTok.
No.
No one.
People were lying
no one
about
had
their
a
age.
Vine.
People were lying about their age to get on Facebook. That's
True.
what it was.
That was the in thing.
I've got
Facebook
35-year-old friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm like, I went to high school. Come on. Okay.
Yeah. How do you call it? But there was this one time where this kid ripped, those brown phones that are on the walls for the schools?
Yeah.
They just ripped that and took it.
Devious Lick.
None of this other stuff existed.
The OG Devious Lick. It was just called theft back in my day. Jesus.
It was just called pissing off the administration.
Honestly.
But no, dude. I've told more stories on the podcast. But my high school was so wild, kind of. Like
Crenshaw?
Occasionally, not Crenshaw. Come on, I'm not Walter.
Wait, which high school did you go to?
Westchester.
Oh, Westchester. I mix them up all the time.
I know.
Westchester,
I know.
Crenshaw. Okay.
Yeah,
Westchester.
it's just like mixing it up with laces. It's same thing.
I don't know. Laces in the middle of.
No, I legitimately feel that you just weren't a part of that crowd because of some of the other stories I've heard.
From Laces?
Yeah, from Laces. Because I have other friends that have gone
Dude.
like in college. I've became friends with other people who've gone to Laces, and they've told me similar stories like the ones I have about my school.
Dude, I'm telling you, there was white kids doing cocaine at parties.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
Of course. Like I wasn't in with the white people, so I'm like, no wonder they were doing crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
No, but I like at my school there was like not an ounce of cocaine. It was weed everywhere, but
that makes sense.
but no cocaine.
No, we had a fucking drug sniffing dog that came by all the time.
Oh fuck, nah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, not all the time, but like we had the money to do it. Apparently,
Yeah.
every so often they'd have like random locker checks and stuff like that.
No. On the other side of the aisle, my principal almost got stabbed one time because he expelled a student and the student got mad, and so the student came back and tried to stab him in the parking lot at night. And so the
Jesus.
principal just fucking body slammed him.
Oh, he deserves it.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty deserved.
Yeah. And so then this same first, because before that everyone hated the principal. I hated the principal.
And then you found out he bodied a kid.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, all right. Respect. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Where credit is due,
He showed his work.
Yeah, exactly.
like a true student.
Exactly. And then right after that, I guess maybe he was running on a high of like demolishing a student. No, I'm just kidding. Of like
He had that adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
for beating up kids. Oh, I used to get
another
that.
one.
Yeah. Who will be a next worthy opponent? He's like, sir, this is kindergarten.
He's just like, send them in waves. Bring a 5th grader every 3rd wave.
Playing tower defense now.
Yeah. No,
then-
but he was just like walking by, and one of my louder friends was like, I've honestly I've forgotten his name at this point because I did hate him at one point because he was the reason why I almost got a criminal record.
Jesus. We'll hear that one after this.
Yeah, we'll hear that one after this. But my louder friend was like, "Hey, yo, what's your favorite game?" or something like that. He said something like and he's like, the only games worth are on like PlayStation or he said some weird shit like that, like Sony or like PlayStation 5 or something like that. And he just walked away, and all the kids around, like, cause fucking we're all high schoolers, little dumb fucks, and we're all like, oh, like literally like the meme where like the dude just does the worst, absolute worst, and everyone's
Bippity boppity boop. Yeah.
yeah, that was literally us right there.
That's
just
hilarious.
like that. But yeah, I until then I had hated him because he was the reason I almost got a criminal record because I turned in a laptop that I found that was stolen, but because I was ditching and because I had it, they thought I had stolen it.
Oh.
And they thought I was the one who stole all those laptops because it was like a pile of laptops.
Where was this pile of laptops just sitting or what?
It was inside of like a room
Okay.
where everyone would go to smoke weed.
That tracks.
Yeah.
You walk in, just smells like weed and stolen laptops in
Literally.
here.
Also,
What a coincidence.
And he was also going to blame me for the damage done to the doorknob because the door's locked, right? They locked that door.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it could be opened with like an ID card.
Oh, just sliding in it. Yeah.
No, not like that. Like at the doorknob, you just insert any card or thing.
To slide open the lock, right?
And then you like shove the thing back inside the locking mechanism back into the doorknob.
As if you're opening it from the other side, right?
Yes.
Like that.
Yes, exactly. And he was gonna blame me for that too.
Yeah.
And he was like telling me about how like, oh, you shouldn't do all this stuff, and I was just there like, fuck, I'm never doing anything nice ever again in my life.
Honestly, my God. Yeah, it's tough. There was you just reminded me. A core memory reappeared.
Core memory.
This kid scammed me. I was in I was in 7th grade. A kid scammed me out of my fucking Pokemon game. I had Pokemon. I had like Leaf Green, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon Leaf Green, and so he's like, "Oh, dude, did you hear about the upgrades they're doing to Pokemon games?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, if you give me your Pokemon Leaf Green, I can go and get it upgraded to Pokemon Iron." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool, dude!" I was dumb as shit. I'm fucking. What's 7th grade?
We're all stupid when we're young, though.
12? Like, yeah, I'm a 12-year-old.
Yeah, 12.
Right? And he's like, yeah, dude, it's Pokemon Iron. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like in 1 grade above me, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I give it to him, and he's like, oh, okay. And he was like, oh, but you'll have to pay me with like other games too, so I can upgrade it for you. I was like, okay. And then I opened up like a little Game Boy case I had, and then like some other, I don't even remember what fucking, it was some bullshit games, right? It was like that one and that one. I was like, okay. And I gave him 3 Game Boy games. Game Boy Advance games, basically, right? Game Boy Advance games. The small little cartridges. And he takes Leaf Green, and he takes the other 2 games. And I was like, all right. And then like the next week, I see him again. It was like in PE class or some dumb shit, right? Yeah. So I see him again. I'm like, oh, dude, did you get the Pokemon Iron? He's like, oh, yeah, it's taking a bit. I was like, oh, okay. And then like the next day after that, I was like, dude, Pokemon Iron, like when's it coming out? And he's like, oh yeah, it's taking a while. Don't bother me. And I was like, and then like the next week after that, I bothered him for like 2 months straight, basically. And I mean, obviously, I was scammed.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. In hindsight now, I'm like, God, I can't believe it. I
can't believe I was that dumb.
I know, like, what an easy scam too. Like, the kid bothers you, just tell him not to bother you, and then he's just gone. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
What am I gonna tell someone? Yeah, so he stole my game, and like, I mean, it's at home or some shit, so there's no proof because it's been fucking weeks since I've given it to him. You know? So it's like,
there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
just fucking got scammed.
And then that's when I started stealing.
and so I got my revenge on society.
In conclusion, exactly. So that's when I started stealing.
And that's when he painted his face white and put red lipstick on. Became the Joker, you know, it's fine.
Exactly. You remember the Boston bomber? That was actually...
So
that was my revenge on society.
Ted Krasinski was not the Unabomber. It was actually... no.
You've got the Unabomber all wrong, people, okay? The FBI...
Open up.
Yeah. We're not even done recording yet and they've already heard it. This isn't even broadcasting
It's
anywhere.
not even edited yet. This is just orange.
Yeah. My Alexa is unplugged and yet it still reported us to the FBI. Yeah. But yeah. So speaking about high school crimes, and so in 7th grade also I stole this kid's PSP out of his gym locker. And it was I got the idea when someone stole my DS from me in 6th grade because someone looked at my combination and they knew I had a DS, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then I came back from PE class, right? And I'm like the first one in the gym, in the locker room, and my locker's open. And I was like, what the fuck? And I go and I look at it and I'm like, my DS is gone. And I was like, crap, like what am I gonna do? Yeah. And I go and tell the PE teacher, like, hey, like my DS is gone. Can you guys get someone to search like everyone? He's like, oh no, we can't do that. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do that? I was like, no, sorry, we can't just like search everyone. That's not how that works. And I'm like, but someone stole it from me. Someone in this class stole it from me. So just have them empty their pockets and like check. And the teacher was like, nah. Like he was a real piece of shit. Oh, this was 6th grade. Yeah, he was a piece of shit. A huge piece of shit teacher.
Yeah, there's always piece of shit teachers.
Fucking like,
trash.
I couldn't do that. Actually, I think it was 7th grade because I'm like, because I had a lady in 6th grade. I had a guy in 7th grade. Yeah, he was such a piece of shit.
So I had a story about a piece of shit administrator, but thinking about it, I think she's probably dead now because she was so old when I was in middle school.
Good. 20 years later, the years caught up with her. Oh, dude, I have other piece of shit administrators too. We'll get to that one after. After confessing to high school crime. So,
what do you think the statute of limitations are on murder? No.
15 years.
I have to clarify. That's a joke. I haven't intentionally killed anyone yet.
Exactly. Not intentionally. Maybe unintentionally someone else passed away from something later on that I was unaware of.
Yes.
Never with intent.
But some students are pieces of shit too. Like recent, like, you know how I transferred over here to Maywood, right?
Yeah.
Closer to the end of the thing. There was this the band teacher there. He's so chill. He was like, so yeah, just take your time, learn your instruments.
People take advantage of him.
Yeah. No, not that. Like, some people do, obviously. Some people would like go off into the corner, just talk, not do anything.
Yeah.
But he didn't really care about. He cared about them, and he tried to make sure that they kept on curriculum, did the bare minimum to pass.
God.
Yeah, but like everyone else, he would like honestly try to encourage him. He was really nice. And then like a year ago or 2 years ago, a story came out. Like, he was on the news. They say like he got fired because he had to retaliate against the kid because the kid was attacking him or some shit.
Oh my God.
But the news basically left out that the fact that the kid not only started swinging at him and like started like attacking him or some shit, but it was like this whole complicated mess, and he just had to take the fall for it. Like he just
sucks.
he
like,
got fired. Yeah,
whatever,
he was such a cool teacher, and like
finally snapped.
some kid fucking just went off on him, and he had to basically defend himself, and fucking got fired. It's so trash.
Yeah,
it's so trash. Like, I hate people.
Honestly, yeah, middle schoolers are probably the biggest pieces of shit you can think of.
Oh yeah, but that's because they haven't developed like.
They haven't developed moral compasses yet?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, they have. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but that's why it was fun.
No, but you don't understand that other people feel bad.
Empathy, yeah.
Empathy. You don't have empathy yet as a middle schooler. You have the ability and knowledge to do wrong, but you don't have the ability to empathize with other people
how
necessarily.
How are my actions going to affect other people?
You're focusing on how it's going to affect you, not how it's going to affect other people.
This is mine now. Yay.
Yeah.
And then like that kid who got his PSP stolen. Fuck, imagine how bad that. Dude, PSPs are like what, 200, 300 bucks? I don't know how much they were, right?
Yeah.
Let's just assume 200 bucks, right? Like brand new. It stole his brand new PSP. And I'm like, and it was crazy too, because he was like, damn, dude, I can't find it anywhere. And I had it like in my pocket, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Damn. And like I was basically, I was the worst thief ever, right? I wasn't even hiding it. I just had it in there, and I was like, damn, that's crazy, dude. And then he was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? But I feel like in my head I was justifying it because I knew that he was well off, and like he was like a privileged kid. In my head I'm like, his parents will replace it, right?
Yeah.
But obviously like that still sucks.
That's not the point.
Yeah, it's not the point. It sucks, right? You like getting your shit stolen from you, and I would know because I had my DS stolen.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And this is me acting out against society.
This is your revenge.
This is why I can't have nice
plot.
things.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the one time my dad buys me a fucking console and it gets stolen from me, and I'm like, and then my dad was just like, well, yeah, that's it. And I was like, it was terrible. So after stealing that, right? Oh, actually, before that, I stole a DS game from a kid in 6th grade on the last day of school because I knew he wasn't coming back the next year. I mean, another privileged kid.
Yeah.
But I was like, he was like, man, I can't find the game anywhere. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. Like, basically my answer as a kid was always just like, oh, that sucks, man. Like,
honestly, but like I feel like that was my answer too for everything. I was
what was I gonna do, man?
Damn, that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I feel the reason it works so well, or worked so well for you, is because, I mean, that's just what fucking kids say. They're like, oh, excuse me. I have a
post-COVID.
Post-COVID cum throat.
Post-COVID drip.
There we go. Post-COVID drip. That's better. Bollocks.
You said the reason it feels worse. Privileged kids stealing because not gonna come back from school next year.
No, I kind of lost my train of thought. That was nothing what I was gonna say.
Damn. Okay.
I'm 100% sure that's not even remotely close to what I was gonna say.
No, because I was just saying like what I was saying to see if it would re-trigger.
It would work. It would work so well because as like
that's a
young high schooler or middle schooler, that's all you can say when something bad happens.
You
don't know how to empathize with people yet, so you're just like, oh man, dude, that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's awful.
My parents are divorced because my dad tried to kill my mom. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. It's like, damn, that's like, I feel like
That's
I feel like in
crazy.
middle school, that's always the advice I would give. I was like, damn, that sucks, man. I don't know.
Keep your chin up.
Yeah, keep your chin up,
That's all I
man.
could say.
Chin up.
Chin up, man. Chin up.
Yeah.
It's like both my parents died in a car accident. Chin up, man.
My parents got shot in an alleyway by a gunman. He almost killed me, but I had a trip, and then he tried to grab me, and he fell, and I saw his brains come out the other end because he fell on top of a spike when it went through his eye.
Become Batman. Parents shot in an alleyway.
There we go.
That's advice I would have had.
Yeah, that's some good advice.
Let me go back in time and give that advice to that one orphan kid. This is an orphan beating up poor people. But I mean, like I said, as a kid, you just justify in your head. You're like, yeah, he's privileged, it's fine. You don't, like you said, you don't empathize
with the people.
So I'm like, it's just easy to steal from them when it's like, yeah, it's whatever. And then I remember I stole this iPod from this cunt, right? Mm-hmm. And it was in 7th grade after I had gotten my DS stolen, right? So I steal this cunt's iPod, like her backpack was just open and just in there, and I was like, whoop. And of course, they didn't have any locks on them before, so it was just filled with a bunch of like movies and music and stuff. And I was like, awesome.
Wait, what?
Because it was like the iPod, the fat ones, remember?
Yeah.
The ones with like the little rolling wheel. So they don't have locks on them, you know? So you don't like, there's no passcode or anything. Like if she had an iPod Touch, that's different.
They eventually got an update and they put the passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was simple though. It was like up, down, left, right or some shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so jacket, and then it was like a little fat black iPod.
Jacket means to steal for you youngsters.
Exactly.
You Gen Zers.
I devious licked it. Honestly, we are Gen Z though.
Yeah.
We're higher on the end of Gen Z, but we're still Gen Z. We're Zoomers.
They're Zoomers?
Yeah, we're not millennials.
I thought we were millennials.
Dude, millennials are like 30 right now.
Yeah, 30.
We're 24. That's 6 years above us. That's the generation above us.
30 isn't necessarily the cutoff.
I mean, ish. You know the whole thing.
Well,
like
okay.
Alan is technically a Zoomer also. He's not a millennial.
Yeah, but that's like a very like
we're on the last end of Zoomers, in between Zoomers and millennials, basically.
I was gonna say our generation kind of bleed like I would say 1995 to 1997 are the
Even
years
just to 2000.
No, hold on. Like 1995 to 1997, the people who were born in there, whether you're Gen Z or whether you're a millennial, depends on where you land on the poverty scale. Because the way culture works is that poor people get the new culture, the new stuff later. So
that makes sense. Because I've seen so many posts where it's like Zoomer kid in 2013 or like it was like millennials childhood, like a Nintendo DS and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't get that shit until like 5 or 6 years afterwards. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I got everything way afterwards. Or they're like a millennial's childhood, Bionicles. I'm like, that's not like
you got that in like high school.
Yeah. No, not even high school. Because dude, I had some of like the originals, have some of the original sets, and that's like another thing that makes me feel old. Yeah. These sets are 24 years old. They are as old as me. Oh. They are 22 years old because 2000. They're 22 years old now.
Yeah, 22 years old.
They're 22 years old now. This Lego set can drink. It can vote. It can enlist. Can't rent a car yet.
Someone was like, people who were born in 2000 are now 20.
Yeah, 22. Yeah. That's the easiest way to track their age. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that, it makes you feel old, even though it's like, well, it's just the passage of time.
Passage of time. Yeah, I know.
Relax,
but yeah. So culture tends to hit poorer people later.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Because I'm not in the forefront of it.
Yeah, exactly. So our thing is like, we're technically Gen Zers, but we have the culture of like more like kind of the tail end of the 90s. Yeah. So more like millennial type culture because we were poor.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, like the middle class to upper middle class was already Zoomers, but...
Yeah, they had internet connections since the 2000s. And it's like, I didn't have an internet connection until like 2006 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, I didn't have internet connection until like a proper internet connection, like with good quality, like a stable connection basically with on my own computer, till I was like, fuck,
2017 for me.
Yeah.
Literally, dude. Because the internet... because my dad was always like, I'm paying $14.95 a month for my internet. It's so cheap. And I'm like, yeah, that's why it lags every time I try to play League of Legends and you're on Netflix. And he's like, the Netflix is lagging. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm playing right now. I'm playing video games, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, You're paying $14.95. Like we're in 2017 already. There is fiber internet already at this point. And then not even until I was like 2017, I was like, I'll start paying for the internet too. Just pay me the $14.95 and I'll pay the rest. And it was like $40 for internet.
Yeah.
And it was like, never heard another complaint again.
Yes. How do you call it? How do you call it? I had to convince my dad to get the good internet because, but it was because of his work. And now looking back on it, he's like, yeah, you were right.
Makes sense.
But I had to do so much persuasion work. Yeah. Like I had to get like 3 Nat 20s in a row.
Mexican dads are cheap.
Yeah.
Dude, I know exactly. Net 20, same
Nat 20s.
Net 20, DSL Extreme, fucking AOL Online at the beginning, AOL Online, but like just like super cheap garbage. That's like it's only $9.95.
We had AT&T, but I had to pass. I'm talking about like D&D terms. Like I had to roll a natural 20.
Oh, that's hilarious!
I had to roll 3 natural 20.
20 because like Netgear, they had their own internet and stuff.
Yeah. I remember the library.
Dude, yeah, Netscape was library browser. We always used to play.
Dude, this is just like it just feels like we're just like boomers like jerking off to our past. Honestly, it's like we're just having a circle jerk.
Nostalgia.
Back in my day, we had to run 3 miles in a snowstorm to get to
uphill
the
both ways.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, dude, this is so
but
cringe. So fucking. I mean,
we started from the high school thetheft stuff. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. So iPod.
Yeah, iPod. You stole the iPod?
So I steal the iPod out of her backpack, right? And she goes, "Oh my god, my iPod's missing," right? And like she was such a huge cunt, like entitled cunt. So I still don't. To this day, I do not feel bad about that. I do not. I will not feel bad about that. I refuse to feel bad about that. She's such an entitled.
You deny
cunt.
it. It is against your legal authority as pseudo god of this earth to feel bad about that.
Exactly. I am God because I can only perceive what I perceive.
Exactly. You can't prove that other people are just as conscious as you.
Exactly.
You just have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
And you could revoke that at any time.
And kill them.
And
See?
kill them. Fuck you.
Justifying murder on your favorite podcast. Woo! There are podcasts that investigate murder. There are podcasts that investigate motives. Here, we provide you motives.
Exactly.
Fucking do it.
We provide you alibis. Call 1-800.
1-800-BrokeTillFriday.com. So I steal this shit from this cunt, and I'm like, I don't care. She's a huge cunt. And she's like, so she's doing the whole shtick, right? She tells the teacher.
Yeah.
And then, like, this is in like an art class, right? So the teacher, because this is in PE class, and teacher's not a dumbass, she actually goes and gets administration, and they start searching everyone's backpacks, dude. It's crazy. And I was like, she had like the school police officer there, and all I could think was, you stupid bitch. And you couldn't, and that dumbass teacher couldn't get me to, like, they couldn't do this for me, but just because some girl goes and bitches. Like, in my head, I was thinking that. But in hindsight, it's not because she was a girl. It's because
the teacher was
competent.
And that teacher was
and the PE teacher was a dumbass piece of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he was such a douchebag. And I was like, oh, everyone's like lining up, right? Putting away their stuff. Mm-hmm. And I have the iPod in my backpack, right? So I was like, oh, fuck. So I get the iPod because everyone's kind of distracted, right? Because they're all worrying about looking at the door. And I'm like trying to put it in my shoe, right? And I drop it. I swear to God, I hear it go. And I step on it real quick and I cover it with my foot, right? And the entire room is still distracted with leaving. Oh. Dude, I know. I was like this. I was like this. I was like dun 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 dun. I look around, no one's giving a shit. Everyone's just so and it was such a loud, it was like and I was like this is it. I'm gonna fucking die. My parents are gonna kill me. This is like a $200 iPod. Oh my god. And then no one gave a shit. And I was like, huh. I just picked it up, slipped it into my shoe, and walked out all awkwardly. And then like I opened my backpack and she just went, okay. Didn't even check any of the pockets.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, I could have just left it.
But to be fair, you don't know, because like for me, that's with true. The laptop, they did search every nook and cranny.
They searched me more for candy than they did for fucking iPod.
Fucking right, dude. Bruh.
Administrators, okay. We're getting.
So the reason why they searched my backpack my duffel bag so thoroughly.
Thus ends our crime spree for now. For our crime stories. Now we move on to our administrative cunt stories while we're trying to be entrepreneurs. What have they done?
Oh, dude. Oh, okay. No, so just a quick tangent. 2 tangent side notes. One that I just remembered right now. So there was so I was known as the person that always sold shit. Yes. I had Monster, I had sodas, I had burritos. Oh, not burritos. I had tortas. I had tortas.
This fool had handmade
I had chips.
Just
Custom too. Custom. Like I would have like this little booklet where people the day before would give
Put
me
in
an
their
order.
custom orders.
Yeah, they would be like, oh, I want chorizo with cheese, lettuce, and all this other shit.
Amazing.
And then I would come home, make it. My mom would sometimes make it, help me because school, exhausted.
Yeah.
And then I take it to school and then
Get some racks.
How do you call it? But the thing that happened was before that, my friend's brother was the person known for selling shit because, dude, this dude, marketing genius. Like he would go around the school yelling, "Flamin' hot Cheetos, get them while they're hot."
What? Just yelling that?
Yeah, just yelling that.
That's
and everyone would be
hilarious.
like, "Oh yeah."
Awesome.
And then the one of my friends also tried to sell hot Cheetos after that dude had left, and so he was kind of competing with me. But then one time, one of our friends bought a bag of hot Cheetos from him, and it came out and it was moldy, and he just I kind of do feel bad because like the dude didn't know. The dude didn't know. He just sold it.
Not his fault.
Not his fault. But my friend just grabbed it and was like, "Hey, you," and like he called him out, like called his name, just chucked it at him, and he was just like
covered in moldy Cheetos.
Yeah, dude, it was hilarious.
wild.
It was hilarious. But yeah, no, when they took that laptop, the reason that they searched me so thoroughly was because they saw that I had a bunch of Monster Energy in my backpack, and they were like,
"What are you doing with a 6-pack of
doing?
Monster Energy?" And
Yeah.
they're like, "I need it for my energy."
Yeah,
Hopped up.
yeah. And then I had someone else selling for me in that school too. Like I had this senior kid who every day like I would bring an extra duffel bag and I'd give it to him with everything counted for, and then he'd pay me whatever he sold, and he'd take that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me it was mostly candy.
Was it the gummy worms with like Kool-Aid in a bag?
No. I wasn't that creative. I had it was just candy bars like from like Costco, like you know a packet of candy bars like Snickers. I still remember it to this day. They'd be like, "Hey, what you got?" I'm like, "I got Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms," and like I would always start Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's because those were the three like the most that I had, right? So I'd go Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, Starburst. I got like, and then like. I would taper off at the end because sometimes I would have like different things like sour Skittles. People love those, but you only ever get like 2 in a pack of the variety packs and stuff. So I'd be like sour Skittles, blah, 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 or all that kind of stuff. And Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, and it's giving me PTSD from reading it out loud, right?
Yeah,
I'm sent back to my childhood. So they would always ask me $1 for the candy bars, et cetera, et cetera. Honestly, like you'd only ever make like $8 on a box, dude, right? So it was like it was hard, right? So $8 on like a box because the box it was a box of 30 for like $20, right? So including like taxes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So but yeah, I'm selling a bunch. I'm able to buy my own laptop and shit like that. Like I had $300 saved up from selling, and then my parents bought the laptop for $1,000, and I'm a dumbass because I fell for the warranty thing. The warranty was like $200. I was like, sure. Like the laptop itself was $700, and then $749.99, and then plus $200 plus the taxes, it ended up being like 1,000 something.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And I didn't know anything either. So all I saw was it says Core i7 on it. That means it's good for gaming and stuff like that. I didn't know shit, right?
Yeah.
Of course. So I don't know shit. So I couldn't be like, give me a gaming laptop or something, because if I could have bought a really good gaming laptop for $1,000, like actually play League of Legends on.
Yeah.
Because then my laptop started overheating.
You got a potato.
Near the end of its life, it started overheating. Because in the beginning, it ran perfectly fine, all that kind of stuff. But of course, as League updates and stuff like that, it just started overheating at the end. So it would overheat if I didn't have a fan on it. And it sucked because it would just turn off and I'd be in the middle of a game. I was like, no. And then I would have to wait for it for like 3 or 4 minutes to cool down. I'd be like clicking the power button constantly. Finally, it would turn on again, load into the game. The game's over. And I'm like, oh, fuck, like, and that sounds like I gotta get a better one. But so I'm selling candy, right? And I sold it in 7th grade, and I get caught, and then the guy takes I had a lunchbox with candy in it, right? Oh, and actually, so I had a lunchbox with candy in it, right? And I was
was it the Green Lantern one?
No, it was a Clippers lunchbox, actually. Yeah, it was a Clippers lunchbox. I don't even know why. But so I had a Clippers lunchbox. And I'm in English class in 8th grade because I sold in like 7th grade, got caught, and then 8th grade I carried in the lunchbox. And so in 8th, that was 7th grade. Never mind. No, that was still in 7th grade before I got caught, actually, because I remember the English teacher. She was a 7th grade English teacher.
Yeah.
So 7th grade English, I go and I'm like, I have my oh no, it was 8th grade. It was 8th grade. So point is, I get caught in 7th grade.
Yes.
Because it's in my backpack, and then 8th grade I have the extra pack, right? So I go to the bathroom, and then I come back, and I see my stuff's like moved. And I was like, what the fuck? And I open up my my candy thing, and there's candy missing. And I look, I'm like, what the fuck? And then later on, I see this fat cunt from my class. She was eating like Skittles, and I was like, I was missing Skittles and Starburst. I was like, that fat cunt just fucking stole from me. And I was like, sure, I'm selling candy in school, but that's like basic. That's borderline harmless, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, okay, look. Here's the thing. I would argue that in the society we live in, a student selling candy is not only expected of them, but necessary for them to get any money, considering the level of poverty we were in.
Exactly.
But more importantly, it should be like, if it is wrong, which in a way it is, but not on the student, it's on like the society itself.
Yeah.
If you're
driving child labor, you're forcing a kid to sell in order to have a livelihood because society is unable to provide enough for his family.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is the thing.
Kids got to pick up the slack.
Yeah, kids got to pick up the slack.
It's
like if a kid wants something, you still got to pay for it. So the kid has to work to be able to get the money. Exactly. Which, I mean, some people aren't going to say that that's wrong, but I mean, middle school, really?
And also,
I thought we outlawed child labor.
Honestly, and it's not like we could mow lawns either.
Yeah,
there's no fucking lawns around here.
No,
like
it's a fucking concrete city.
Exactly.
Like, the fuck are we gonna do?
Yeah, like we don't live in the suburbs.
We ran a car wash once, and we got like 3 customers, and they were all our friends. Or like my dad, your dad, and Benny's dad, or something.
Yeah, like that's not feasible. You know,
it's not feasible.
It's like, you know how people are like, just go get a summer job or something. It's like, what summer job am I gonna get? I can't drive anywhere. I'm a child. I don't have anyone with a reliable method of transportation. Both my parents are working, or when my dad's working and the car's gone. Like, you know, there's so many factors.
There's the only jobs you can get is how do you call it? Is under the table jobs. So like I used to work as like pure cash, and like sometimes you get ripped off, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get good people. Like I had one where like the person was actually pretty nice, and I was a sign flipper. I was just in a costume like around Halloween, just
flipping a sign,
you know, just chilling there. But I will never do that again, dude. Because like no, not even the heat. Like, look, I hate heat so much, but the heat wasn't the problem. The problem was sweaty ass motherfuckers before me, in the shift before me, would sweat in the fucking mask. I mean, I would too because the mask is hot, but
they wouldn't wipe it down.
They wouldn't wipe down the inside, and so when you put it on, you just feel the wetness on. Yeah, the kiss of like a stranger, just like on your
kiss
nose.
Of 1,000 sweaty strangers before you.
Oh, dude, just thinking back to it is like,
you will now carry the mantle of the text preparer.
Dude, and that was back in like 8th grade. I was like an 8th grader when I did that.
A child,
literally a child.
Yeah,
dude. That's why I started selling tortas. I was like, no, never,
no more,
never again.
I will be my own boss.
This is why I don't have a job right now. I'm self-employed because of that specific experience.
Core memory.
Yeah, literally, it's just like,
I was traumatized enough to create my own business.
Yeah.
That's some capitalism, baby.
Capitalism, man.
Trauma as a kid.
Capitalism.
Trauma as a kid turns you to a capitalist.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. So I get my shit stolen in school, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? And so it's like 10th. It's like 11th grade now, right? Mm-hmm. And I was selling candy again, like, because I would go in between bouts of like, I'm gonna sell candy now, I'm not gonna sell candy, like, you know, just like however I was feeling that year or whatever, right? Like, because for a few years I just didn't, because I was like, I got caught last time, it was a whole thing, whatever. And so back in 11th grade, I'm like, I'll start selling again, because it was a lot. And then start selling again. Everyone's like buying shit: Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's, M&M's, peanut M&M's, Starburst, Skittles. And then they're like, okay, yeah, I'll get like this and this. And there was one white kid who would come in, and he would always buy $5 worth of candy, because he didn't have change.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, all I got is a 5. And I was like, okay. And he'd be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I'll take this one too. And I was like, yes. So I'm supplying these kids
I still have the picture of the dude in my head. I forgot his name, but I have the picture of the dude who always did that. He only ever had a 10. And he would buy $10. Yes, always a white kid.
He was like a 7th or 8th grader, a little white kid with glasses.
His image, his like face is like embedded into my brain, a core memory, just like, yes, the $10 kid.
Yeah, honestly.
Money.
So, yeah. So I'm like selling, right? And then I go we're in lunch. I'm just sitting at lunch, right? And two administrators walk up and they're like, are you Andres? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, come with us. And I was like, huh? And and they're like, oh, and I was like, okay. And I sat up, and he's like, and she was like, oh, you bring all your things. You bring your backpack. And I was like, and I go, and then my friend was kind of signaling. I missed it, right? I didn't really see. Yeah. And my friend was like signaling, like, take my backpack. I consider, like, take my backpack. And I was like, huh? And then I grabbed my backpack. But in hindsight, I'm like, fuck, I should have grabbed his backpack, because then they were searching me. I've been like, what, bitch? What? I don't have anything, right? So, point is, they take my backpack. And then they're like looking through it, all of it, but they can't find it because it's in like a little, not like a secret compartment, but it's just like you can't really tell there's another zipper in the back.
Yeah.
Until like they're rifling through it, and then they zip it up, and they're like, "Oh, what is this?" And I had the big candy bars. I had some small candy from Halloween, right? And I was like, "Oh, it's candy from Halloween." And she was like, "Oh, okay. Where's the money? Where is it?" And I was like, "What money?" Because they can't search me, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I fucking hated these cunts. And I was like, "What money?" And they're like, "Oh, the money you made from selling these stuffs." And I was like, "I haven't made any money today." And I said it like that, right? Which I guess they take it as like, oh, he just admitted to selling because he's told me he didn't do anything today, right? But whatever.
Yeah.
They can't physically grab stuff out of my pockets, right? But like the way she was rifling through it, she was so fucking pissed. She was like, "Where's the money? Where is it?" And I'm like, "Bitch, you're not taking my fucking money." So I was like, "What money, bitch?" And so they call my parents, and my dad comes by, and then he's like, and they're like, "Oh, you understand?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And I literally exactly like that, in that exact tone. I was like, "So you can't tell him." I was like, "Yeah, okay." Like I was like, "I don't give a shit." Like I was acting like so much like I don't give a shit. Like fuck you, And she was like, "Oh, and your son, he was so rude to me. Do you know what you said?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you know what you said to me. Say it." And I was like, "What? Like what did I say that was rude?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, earlier when I asked you, what if someone had peanuts in it? Well, what if something had peanuts in it and someone was allergic to it? What did you say to me? Huh? What did you say to me?" And I was like, you said it so rude to me. And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, I told you. What if it had peanuts in it? What if the food had peanuts in it and a kid was allergic to peanuts? You were like, well, I think they would know that." And I was like, well, I think they would know that.
Yeah, they would.
Like, what?
They
would.
I
know for a fact I didn't say it with attitude, but I'm like, you dumbass. Like someone's like, I go, Snickers, Skittles, Hershey's, M&M's, peanut M&M's. In my head, I'm like, I know my branding or whatever, right? It's like, what if it had peanuts in it and then eaten it? I'm like, well, I think they would know that.
Well,
I know for a fact I didn't give her attitude with that.
At this point, they still, they're accusing you, but they have no proof that you're selling. So you could just, so what this is essentially implying is saying that you're not allowed to bring peanut M&Ms to school for yourself because someone else might have a peanut allergy. This is beyond bullshit.
Yeah.
Because okay, look. Yes, like peanut allergies, of course, dangerous. You could die. All this other crap. But look,
I think they would know that.
Yes. I think they would know that. Hold on, sorry. Let me turn this wretched device off.
What have they done?
How do you call it? But if your peanut allergy is so severe that like someone like across the room eating peanut M&Ms is enough to trigger your allergic reaction, maybe you shouldn't be in school.
Honestly,
maybe
there's so many things that have peanuts in school,
or that may contain peanuts. Not even that
the Smuckers,
for sure do.
The fucking Smuckers in the morning.
Smuckers, they have peanuts.
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Yeah. If a peanut M&M across the room, a Smuckers across the table is definitely going to trigger your peanut allergy. Like
when you get so loud, you start whispering. You fucking cunts.
Yeah. Just dude, stupid fucking cunts.
Dude.
I fucking hate stupid fucking cunts.
The administrators that were power tripping is fucking
dude. You know what school administrators, especially middle school administrators, remind me of? Cops.
Yes.
They remind me of the exact because like
power tripping because they have no power outside of that one little measly job.
Yes, exactly.
What the fuck does this administrator do anyway? They don't do shit.
They don't do shit. There's only been twice in my life, because I used to TA like in an administrating office like twice. And both of those times I was actually put under people that actually did shit. But see, the thing is that because I was there, I was able to like hang around all the other administrators
and see how they work.
Almost all the responsibility fell onto the people I was a direct TA of. It was like 2 people running the whole operation.
They're like middle managers, basically.
Yeah.
They're not doing shit.
They're not doing shit. And it's like this is where all the school budget goes. It's just to these useless fucks that are power tripping.
Pretty much.
Dude, the amount of like positive experiences I like during my school year that I've had with like administration, I could count it on one hand. Honestly, it was the stabbing incident with the principal, and the two people that I TA'd with, and that's it. Really, that's it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they do. I don't know what the fuck.
It's capitalism, man. It's capitalism.
Honestly, it's like they're like, oh, so you're like not experienced enough to be a teacher, but I guess you can be an administrator or whatever. You're good with kids, and like you just do fuck off and do whatever. Like my counselor for senior year was a huge cunt. I was like, I think I told you this, right? Where I was like, I want to take like 5 AP classes because it's AP English. It's English. I was fine. I loved writing, right?
Yeah.
AP English, AP Spanish. Hola, you know, AP
Literally.
English, AP Spanish, AP Environment, AP Environmental Science.
APs
which was,
are such a scam, though.
honestly, it was like it was a science class, so I liked science too, and it was with the teacher that I like. Shout out to Mr. Laterman. It was a good.
You'll
good
see
teacher.
him later, man.
Exactly. Oh, he would have liked that joke. he liked making his puns, and so I had so AP English, AP Enviro, AP Spanish. AP History. I'd already taken an AP History class last year, so it makes sense. Why am I going to drop down to like another? Yeah. I take AP History and then AP Calc because I had taken pre-calc the year before, trig pre-calc. So obviously I got to take calc the next year. Like most of these made sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like AP English. I mean, I've already taken all the other things for Spanish, so I'm going up to AP Spanish. You know, like these 5 choices make sense, and they're not something I've like just do. Like, I'm not going. I'm gonna take AP fucking French or something dumb, right?
Yeah.
These all make sense if they understand my schedule. Which this cunt goes, huh? So I see you're taking 5 AP classes. Don't you think that might be a little too many for you? And I was like, no. Just add them on. And she was like, are you sure? Because I don't think you should be taking this many classes because last year you only took 1. You're taking 5 now? That's going to be a lot of work. And I was like,
dude,
no.
AP classes aren't that hard.
Legit, they're not. It's a bunch of busy work for history class.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of busy work for history class. But other than that, it's like they would always tell us for every AP class, you should spend 5 hours outside of class.
Yeah.
Doing it. And it's like, fuck you. I'm not going to spend 25 hours outside of my 3 free hours.
Yeah.
Because when I'm taking the bus, I'm at a class at 3. My last class ends at 3, right?
Yeah.
The school buses leave at like 3:20. I get home at like 4:30, 4:45 at best.
At best.
Sometimes, well, at the last year we had, the last like 3 years, we had a good bus driver who didn't just take one fucking route. Because in 6th and 7th grade, we had a bus driver in 6th grade especially. He would just take one route, and we would always get to class late. We'd end up getting there at like 8 or something, and they'd be like, "Excuse tardy, excuse tardy, excuse." Because you know it's like there's nothing we can do. But he would always take the same fucking route, and it was just like this old grouchy Mexican guy, and I'm like, just fucking Google Maps it, whatever.
Yeah.
So the last 3 years we had this 2 cool bus drivers. One of them was like, whatever. But I'm a senior at this point, so it's not like I'm like sitting in the front going, "Hey, bus driver, let's interact," you know. But they would always know the good routes at the end. So 4:30. One time we got home at like 4:15, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like we got here so fast. No. It was like 4 o'clock. It was like 4 o'clock, and I guess there just must not have been traffic or something. But it was
it was
40 minutes to get to the house from like the beginning of rush hour. Basically, for me, it was like that's awesome, right? We got home at 4. This is great. And so that's why we liked early days so much, because early days you get home really fast because there's no traffic.
You get home when when you're supposed to get out of school. That's the good thing.
No, not even then. It would be way earlier because we'd get out of for us, because early day, right? You get out at 1:45.
Oh, wait.
It was basically
1:45.
It was basically like a half day. I mean, we got out at 1:45. The
Not
bus
a half day. It's just 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, that's true, right? It seems like a
half day, but no, that's just because you wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and so you don't realize the first.
Dude, it's not even a half day. 1:45. That's an hour and 15. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's
when you
nothing.
Think about it. So we'd get home.
You get out at 3.
Yeah. So we would get home at like it'd be like 2:45 ish, maybe on the later end 3 when we get home. But like walking home was like another 5 or 10 minutes. So you walk home
from the.
Well, our bus stop was like right here at the Gage Library.
That's why mine
Gage
too.
Middle School.
Yeah, remember
it was like a 5-minute walk.
That's not a 5-minute walk,
dude. I would make it a 5-minute walk when I was late because the bus would get there like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
6:15.
You could make it a 5-minute walk.
And I'd be like, but like, okay, let's say
like
10
when
minutes.
You're walking normally.
10 minutes.
10, 15 minutes.
10 minutes, right? So, yeah, I guess by the time I'm actually in my house, it's like barely 3 o'clock. So I'm like, whoa, I have like the whole rest of the day to do stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you get out of school. Let's say you get home at my situation, 4:30. maybe sometimes 4:45, right? You eat, it's like 5:30. You still have regular homework to do, and I have to wake up at 6 a.m. So I got to be in bed by like 9, or like, you know, because if I stay up anything past that, I'm gonna wake up and be like, I don't want to go. And, I mean, who really wants to wake up at 6 a.m. to get to school? Because you wake up at 6 a.m. It's 6:15 when the bus stop is there. You get to school at like 7:30, and school starts at like 7:45 or whatever. But how am I supposed to spend an additional 25 hours on just those 5 classes? I had 7 classes.
Also, they're not. Also, you even in AP. Look. I took my fair share of AP classes in high school, both in the Westchester and in over here in Maywood. It's less work than my level 500 courses at college.
Actually, I feel like, at least for me personally, because LACES was so hard, college was so easy. Like, that's the one thing I have.
Easy, like there's,
because you're taking like 4 or 5 classes, and it's like not even anything, you know.
Yeah, like the most stress that I got, like, because I had a lot of stress during college, but that was mostly because like I hate deadlines. Like I'm like, because I'm self-employed, I'm not used to hard deadlines.
Yeah, they tell you, hey, bring around next week. Around next week. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, yeah. If I get it, next week or like 3 days after, it's completely fine.
Yeah, exactly.
If I have a really hard deadline, usually it's because I need to do something, or it's because I need it. But generally, I have really lax deadlines, and so that was my stress in thing. I was always worried because I can never, like, the presence of a deadline like that stresses me to no end, because I feel like I can't do anything, and the emphasis that okay, but that's besides the point. Like, and I meant level 100 courses, not 500, because obviously the 500 courses are there's like the end of it. No, but the beginning ones, it was so much less work. Like the AP classes, like it's not even funny, dude. It was like,
in hindsight, the Eagle Scout thing was so fucking easy. If I just done paperwork, all I had to do was paperwork. But I was just such a like lazy piece of shit. In high school, I was like, I don't want to do paperwork.
That's not fair. In high school, you're doing like 6 or 7 different things.
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
And on
all
top
the high school classes, do I really want to get home and do extra homework?
And on top of that, you're going through the hormonal changes. And then on top of
jacking off all day.
Jacking off all day. You got to discover yourself. And then on top of that, you got to deal with, like, a lot of people in our situation have to deal with really restrictive parents that don't let you do anything.
Can't jack off at home all day.
You just got to sit at home, stare at a wall.
Exactly. Because the rage, unbridled rage building inside of you.
Yeah, just like...
Because you're like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
You can't leave with your friends. Like, they don't let you outside.
Yeah.
They don't let you use the computer. They don't let you use the TV.
Internet is off.
You
got no TV in your room.
The books are all at the library. That's the best you got.
And then you go to the library and you go on Netscape and you play Miniclip.
And you're not allowed to go over there.
You're limited to like an hour, and then after an hour a day, it's like, oh, you're locked out for the day, and it's like, what the fuck,
man? Or your parents call you in an hour, like, hey, come back.
Yeah.
And then what you got to do? Stare at a wall.
Yeah. You're like, but there's air conditioning over there. And like, no estés de callejero, and it's like,
I'm at the library.
You're like, or I go out once with my friends. I go out once with my friends a second time after like 2 days, and like, ¿por qué estás de callejero? Or ¿por qué estás de casero? Siempre estás allá, and it's like, because I'm trying to make friends. And then they're like,
right,
¿por qué no quieres, why don't you want to have like a birthday party? Where's all your friends? And you're like, I just hung out with them, or like I can't even hang out with them, so I haven't talked to them in a while. What do you mean?
Yeah,
like childhood trauma.
Yeah, childhood trauma. I had 2 more things I wanted to one
Touch
more
fun.
thing, but I kind of forgot. I forgot what was one of the things that I wanted to talk about.
Administrators, stealing.
Administrators. That was one of them.
Yeah.
Over here at Maywood, we had this asshole, this complete and utter dipshit that would like, he was like, so like, not even by the view. I personally feel that he went a little bit overboard. Maybe just a smidge. Like, technically you're not allowed to ride your skateboard inside school property, right?
Yeah, technically.
Illegal, I never paid attention to him. Yeah. But if you would drop your board, he'd take it away and give you detention. Like, he'd give out detention slips like candy on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, you look at him wrong, detention. He sees an earbud on your collar, detention, and he takes that, he rips it out.
I would have been like, don't fucking touch me.
No, not literally rips it out, but like, yeah.
I'd be like, what? Pull it back in?
after school, he'll do it too. Like after school, he has no authority, and he still tried to exert authority.
Yeah.
I fucking walked out on him, and he caught me the next day when I was entering school to give me detention. Like this asshole was so fucking mad that I just fucking ignored him because A, my dad was there. B, I drove to school. I had my skateboard because I was gonna drop the car back off here and then go somewhere else. But how do you call it? And because I think my dad wasn't here, he like went off on a business trip. How do you call it? And like I just wrote it out of the school, and I was like, fuck it, I don't care. And I just ignored him, and I drove away. And he got mad at me, and he stopped me the next day. He was mad for a whole 12 hours?
Or 24 hours, yeah.
Yeah, like 12, 13 hours. He was just stewing, just like, ooh. Because he was waiting for me there at the door, too. He was like...
Yeah.
Like
that's like 16 hours, actually.
Yeah, like 16 hours. Fucking hell, dude. Like, I swear to God. Like
these... grudge so long.
Yeah, like... How is your life going to be so depressing that you hold a grudge against like a fucking 16-year-old?
A child!
Like, okay, come on. My dude, come on. Get a life. Get a life, please.
Hopefully he's dead now.
Hopefully he has a life now. Like, dude. And he looked like a stereotypical cholo too.
What?
Like he was like bald. He always wore those glasses. He had the goatee.
The goatee.
Yeah. And like the only thing that wasn't cholo about him was because he was wearing the school uniform. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other story. This isn't the other thing I wanted to talk about because I was going to talk about some drama just because it's in my head and I'm so like...
And it won't go?
It won't go. But the other thing, at that same... since we're talking about crimes, there was this kid that I was friends with and he used to love playing like bass. Like he loved practicing bass guitar.
Yeah.
So he'd always carry his bass guitar around with him.
Bass.
Yeah. And let's just say like, obviously, look at me, not exactly the most popular of the kids. And I was friends with him, so obviously he wasn't the most popular of kids either.
Just by association.
Just by association with me, you know.
Yeah.
And so he was getting starting to get bullied a little bit. This motherfucker wouldn't take it. The second they tried to like do something to him, he fucking took his bass guitar and smashed it against the dude's head.
Ow. That's gonna
like
sting.
Legitimately, like no cap, like
just fucking
unironically, just smacked the shit out of him. He got like a 2-week suspension or something for that. Almost got expelled, and then 2 weeks he came back. Like all of us, like our little group was like, okay, shit, all right, all right then, shit. I mean, you can't say anything to that. He smacked just a random, well, not a random kid. He was getting bullied.
Yeah.
Like then and it was technically in self-defense
policy bullshit.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, you can't say anything to that. He just fucking straight up murked someone in the middle of the hallway.
Respect.
Yeah.
I bet the principal would have liked him.
Oh yeah.
That's a callback.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but so about the drama. So I recently got into and this is the part where like, because like I kind of realized up to now many of the viewers probably won't be interested in what we've been talking about. It's just
this is the tail end of the podcast.
Yeah, this is the tail end of the podcast.
Just say what you want.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna put this here because
FBI.
I am genuinely kind of scared about like unironically scared that if this ever gets into those circles, they will attack us.
Who?
How do you call it? So there's this fucking tanky on YouTube. He's called oh no, she's called what's it called? Lena Oi or something like that. It's this Vietnamese. She's basically like a propaganda machine for the Vietnamese government. Like, cause like, okay, so communism like that we have here, like in Vietnam and in like China and shit. It's basically authoritarianism. It's not really communism.
It's not.
It's just like it's the same way that the Nazis are socialists.
Yeah.
How do you call it? And so she's like spreading the propaganda. And this other YouTuber called Vash. And he's a little spicy, not gonna lie. He throws her on the arsler like it was last week's candy.
What's the arsler? Say it. There's like three I can think of.
Yeah.
Okay. And then.
How do you call it? The one your mom didn't want you to say.
That's funny. I know. Sure.
Yeah.
He's like, these people are so ridiculous.
Exactly.
Okay.
we don't say it, but you have to say it in your head.
Yeah, and you know what
Yeah,
you're,
you know what
you're saying.
You know what you're saying. And it's hilarious.
Ridiculous.
I I don't agree with everything he says, but generally speaking, A tier, A tier individual with A tier ethics. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
How do you call it?
S tier slurs.
S tier slur.
Ugh.
No, but there's this tanky, and this dude was like, and Vosh was basically just calling it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was generally like, he gets a lot meaner to like, cause like one time he had like a couple times he had Assad defenders. Or Assad supporters basically like saying that like all the shit over there didn't happen and that he's completely fine.
Jesus.
And he was like, dude, are you fucking,
out of your mind?
out of your mind?
Are you ridiculous right now?
Yeah, exactly. And like he can go off and he does, but how do you call it? But he was generally, for him, he was generally pretty civil. And then but he was only really responding to it because he randomly found it like on his feed or something. Like someone was making memes about Lena Oe or something. And then all of a sudden Lena Oe started like well, not Lena Oe specifically, but like her fan base was starting to send death threats to him.
Oh, Jesus.
And those tankies.
That's what you don't want to get into?
Yeah, because dude, they're basically just diet Nazis. Like literally, tankies are just diet Nazis, and like they don't want to admit it because they have the veil of communism.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey,
how could I be a Nazi if I'm saying comrade? And it's like,
yeah.
It's still
it's
authoritarian.
Like,
yeah,
come on.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. But like the dude is so disingenuous, and the reason I bring this up is simply because it's so fucking hilarious. Because the dude took like that whole group is so mad that Vosh just does not really give a fuck about what they think about him, because after like the dude those is back and forth, she basically called him a pedophile without using those exact words. Like she insinuated that he was a pedophile in very clear terms so that no one could misinterpret it. Like kind of how Republicans do it. And how do you call it? And he was like, dude, your wife basically called me a pedophile. And then the dude was, and then the like her significant other was like no, she didn't call you that. And then Vosh was like, come on, really? And so after that I started getting more and more on him, and this dude was just like I feel like he's actually like a couple IQ like below what you need to be.
A few IQs short of a fever.
Yeah, exactly. Because like this dude was just not grasping the fact that your ethical system needs to be able to say that the Nazis were bad, like even if what they say is true. Because like, you know what like the Nazi talking point is, right? That like the Jewish people control, whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Statistically speaking, the percentage of bankers are like
yeah.
That's like the current talking points where it's like 13% of people are black, but they commit over 50% of all the crimes, and it's like, oh, that's how you know they're bad. And it's like, well, the whole racial injustice thing.
Yeah.
That's why they get prosecuted twice as much and over policing.
The whole 9 yards.
Poverty.
Yeah. And so your ethical system has to be able to say what the Nazis did is bad and wrong, even if what they're saying about the Jewish people are true. It does not matter what they're saying about them because their actions in and of themselves are incorrect. And this dude just was not grasping the concept. He was actually playing into the Nazi talking point by implicitly agreeing with the Nazis.
He's like, yeah, that makes sense.
He turned around and started calling Vosh a Nazi. Like, dude, you're literally supporting the Holocaust right now.
Honestly,
what kind
he's
of...
like, I agree with you, eugenics. I think the white people are the master race. I'm not a Nazi, though. That's different.
Yeah, literally. And no, here's the thing. Like, looking at him and looking at his stream, I genuinely think he thinks that he's not a Nazi.
Oh, no.
I genuinely believe he thinks like he's like...
he's on the right side of history.
He's on the right side of history.
The far right side.
He genuinely believes he's like left-wing and like liberal and like all this other crap. He's literally just a diet Nazi. And you know why? But he codes everything in like or not he, sorry, they. I just like recently found out they were also non-binary. Doesn't excuse all the horrible shit though. And how do you call it? And they said how do you call it? And then they after that debate that they had with Vosh, they basically like they cut him off right when he was trying to explain that, just because he said just because Vosh said that that there was a percentage of a Jewish population, because historically before capitalism the Gentiles forced all the Jewish people into banking roles, and so when capitalism came about, banks suddenly became super important.
What they needed.
Yeah. And as a result, all the Jewish people were
got
disproportionately
elevated,
they got elevated, and well, the anti-Semitic people were still anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So now
it's not like that changed.
Yeah, it's not like that changed. Yeah, no, it got worse actually. And so and he just wasn't grasping that, and so like basically and then Vosh was kind of struggling to explain it too, because he had already explained it like 5 different ways, and they just wouldn't get it. And so then they said they just waited for like a clip that they could take out of context, and then they dipped. They ended the debate. Like they just ran away. And then they're saying
you
no,
rage bait them into saying something, and then they're like, oh, out of context.
Yeah, out of context. And how do you call it? And the how do you call it? And so then they went on, and they were so mad. They had like a 3 or some amount of hour debate with 5 different people just talking bad about Vosh. Just talking bad about Vosh. They were so salty that they could not respond to a single argument that Vosh had proposed, or they didn't answer a single question, didn't allow him to explain anything. Like, this dude literally just wanted to call Vosh a pedophile and just run away. It's absolutely hilarious. Well, I guess not hilarious for Vosh, because he's dealing with all the blowback from all that, because like they supposedly said, because like Vosh is kind of spicy, and so he said he basically called Lena Oy how do you call it, a redheaded stepchild of Vietnam. And that's kind of funny, right? Especially in context, considering that she's literally just promoting Vietnam propaganda. And she took that as like a racist thing. And like she keeps calling Vosh a racist because of that.
It's like a redheaded stepchild. It's like you don't care about him because he's ginger and he's your stepchild or something like that.
Yeah. And like it's just so hilarious. And then they just kept clipping Vosh in like past streams out of context. And so because they kept doing that, you know what someone in the fan base did? They made a video with them clipped out of context.
And then they're like, "Here's, have some of your own medicine, bitch."
Yes, they like one time, I don't know what point Lena was trying to make, but she basically said racism is okay.
Wait, she said what?
She said racism is okay, but like she was like quoting something.
And now we're gonna clip that. We're gonna take off the she is, and just gonna be Edward saying, "Racism is okay."
Andres 2020.
let's make our own out of context clips.
Yeah. No, it gets better. Because of those out of context clips, like Vosh's fan base is meme lords. So they're not just clipping stuff out of context. They're going that extra mile.
Editing it.
You know what they did?
What?
They created an entire fucking soundtrack. Not a soundtrack. They made a song with Vosh, how do you call it? And Linoy, and then the dude.
Saying horrible things?
Non-complete. Sorry. Non-compete. I forget what's their name at this point, because like the fan base is memeing them to hell because they didn't want to what's it called, complete the thing. And it's just because like part of the subject they were talking about Nazis, right? And so as a reference, like in context, all 3 of them have at one point said the Nazis had a point.
Oh no. Now we're clipping that too. And shame on you, Edward.
I shared this in the chat, in our group chat. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I don't know. We'll send it again.
It's in the boys chat.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up really quick, just so you can hear it.
Dun, 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 dun. You just sent it? Or?
No, I sent it like last night.
Was it that link? Or?
Yeah, this one.
Oh, tap it. Let's see what we got. I'll just overlay this afterwards.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm non-compete. Nazis had a point. I'm Luna Boy.
That's Vosh.
Nazis had a point.
That's non-compete. That's Lino.
Nazis had a Nazis had a I'm non-compete. Nazis had a
Jesus. Yeah.
There's a longer version of this now.
Oh,
There's a complete
no.
song. It's a whole 3-minute song now.
no.
And it's stuck in my head. And this is why I had to bring up the whole drama thing. Because this meme is stuck in my head so much.
It's looping over and over.
It's looping over and over again. And I'm like, I'm over here dying because of the whole context.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I got to share this to people. But I can't share that to people because it's out of context. Like, I sent it to y'all.
Yeah.
Before I realized how that would look.
Yeah. You're just like, hey, here you go, guys. A new Nazi rap song. And they're like, what did you send us? Well, Nazi rap song.
I can't. I legitimately can't.
All right, that's broke till Friday. That was cracking up too much.
I'm sorry. I just can't. Because, like, I legitimately want to share this to people, but I can't share it to anyone.
Yeah.
Because anyone that would... that would understand has probably already seen it, and the people that
don't understand
are gonna think I'm a fucking anti-Semite because I said that.
Whoopsie daisy.
And they're not gonna get the joke, the fact that like non-compete is the actual basically anti-Semite because like on the stream reaction they're basically denying the factual history of that like Jewish people are actually proud of and basically portraying them as like evil puppies that must be protected at all costs. Like you know how Vosh made this comparison where like you know how it's racist to like tell a black person oh they're well spoken. They were basically doing that same energy, that same vibe to Jewish people. And it's kind of like
you don't look like you run a bank.
Yeah, no, it's just like
you're not like the other ones.
Yeah. That's basically what they were saying,
Jesus.
like in broad terms, not specifically.
Yeah.
But but and they kept saying that and saying that Vosh's fan base were attacking them, like sending them death threats. Not a single shred of evidence ever of any of that happening, and yet Vosh has like pics from like screenshots from Lino's Discord where like people are saying that they're gonna go find and hang Vosh from a tree.
Oh my god.
And like legitimately like actual
inciting violence.
Violence, death threats to Vosh.
That's against the terms and conditions.
Discord's fine with it, I guess.
Oh well, that's how it is.
But yeah,
you know how
I'm just that's had me dying for like 2-3 days straight.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I needed to share this with someone. I needed to. I couldn't.
Got the
hold
explanation,
laughter.
and now we got all those out of context clips for next episode.
Well, now we'll be attacked if Lino's fan base ever finds out about this.
They're not gonna know. It's whatever. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em.
Come for me.
Fuck them.
Dare you?
Fuck those Nazis.
Brooke till Friday.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.